But let's move on now to the Sydney Morning Herald, where the splash reads tomorrow, fears of a supersized rate rise as jobs surge. The Reserve Bank could slap home buyers with a supersized interest rate rise of 0.75 percentage points within weeks after new figures showed unemployment falling to its lowest level in 48 years, sparking fears of fresh inflation pressures. Kristy, I think we all went to bed last night and we saw that the US inflation rate is now 9.1%. It hasn't been that high since 1981. It looks like we are also trekking that way. What are you hearing out in the community and in the business community about all of the cost of living pressures and also these rising interest rates?
It's really scary, isn't it? And cost of living pressures are huge for people. We know that it was key in the election campaign. But what the people or the general public don't necessarily know, which is what we talk about at a policy level, for the last 5 to 6 years, governments have punished the banks for making it really difficult to lend people money. And then money became really cheap, and governments and the opposition supported measures that made it really easy for people to get lines of credit, whether it be homeowners or small business finance. And now that policy is coming home to roost, and the banks have been saying for some time now to respective governments, to policymakers in Treasury, you've made money too cheap and you have punished the banks for trying to do their job. And now there are a lot of people who are going to have these interest-only loans called in, or who are not going to be able to pay their mortgages. And many of them, of course, are people who might be affected by work situations in this next wave of Omicron that's coming.
Yeah, absolutely.